I just can't talk to him right now. I just can't. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk to him again. I just can't talk to him right now. I need some time. I'm dealing with his attorneys and all this shit. I'm very disappointed and
get multiple concussions, maybe some brain damage, whatever. You just get the like, oh my bad. Nah, bro, you gotta at least sit out like 6 months or something. What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP back at it again with another reaction video, and today we are reacting to Ohmeezzy. Shout out to Ohmeezzy. I ain't reacted to his videos in a minute. I ain't gonna lie, bro, been doing a lot of streamer stuff, and I'm 31 and I don't watch streamers. I'm sorry. I've never watched a Twitch stream in my life. Don't really plan on doing it. I got too much going on. Shout out to y'all that do, but that's not really my thing. So when he got back into regular life stuff, here I am to react to him. So shout out to Ohmeezzy though, for sure. Today's reaction is Rampage Jackson finally faces real consequences. So if you don't know who Rampage Jackson is, who I didn't know at first until this situation, Rampage Jackson is the son of Rampage Jackson. And apparently, you know what? I ain't gonna even explain it. I'll just put it here in the video. All right, so now that y'all see what had happened, now we're going to talk about consequences he is now facing behind his actions and what he did. Without further ado, but before we get into the video, make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We're keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? So without further ado, let's just get into the video.
This is breaking news. After doing the unthinkable and beating a man, what I saw damn near to death on stream, Rampage Jackson is finally arrested for his responsibility in those actions. And I'm not gonna lie, this is something that we need to see more often, especially with the streaming community and the lack of consequences that get handed down from these bigger platforms, from just society as a large when it comes to these streamers. After seemingly doing the unthinkable for millions of people to see on different video platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Rampage Jackson was skating free for the past month, to be quite honest with you.
And I ain't gonna lie, I did put in the comments, I don't know if it was an Ohmeezzy video or somebody video. Oh, no, it was a Hello Yasmin video. And I had said, I kept it real. I know I felt bad for saying it, but I kept it real. I was like, bro, gotta do some time. I'm sorry, the way what we all saw, nah, bro, like, you can't just do that and he lose his teeth, get multiple concussions, maybe some brain damage, whatever. You just get the like, oh my bad. Nah, bro, you gotta, I ain't saying you gotta go to like prison for a minute, but you gotta at least sit out like 6 months or something. You know, like, you gotta face something. So hey, I'm glad to see him being held accountable, because as a grown man, it ain't no excuse for doing what you did. You should know, you a fighter, bro. You should know how far you should have took that and questioned it when they told you to do anything to that matter.
No charges being brought down from anybody from like the police department or even Stu. I think that they were waiting for Stu to come out of, you know, the coma that he was in, or the hospitalized state that he was in. And then after he got out of that, they finally went and picked him up. But it was just amazing and stunning to me that like nobody found it weird that Raja was just living his life with no charges. They literally should have picked him up the next day. And I would point that to the support system that he does have. But honestly, during that time, his father, Rampage Jackson, was doing some very strange things about him and his name in the media. He's just got a very weird father, guys. I don't know what else to say, but this is not a good support system for him.
Are you all due respect? I mean, when you get hit upside the head so many times, no. And granted, let's be honest, maybe the way he was brought up wasn't the best either. So I mean, I get it.
at all worried about his well-being?
Yeah, it's my son. I am worried about his well-being. How many kids you got?
I got 3.
All right, so why you asking me some stupid ass?
Well, can I be real with you? I can't imagine what it would feel like to see my son do that. I also don't think I would cut my son off if he did that.
What?
So if you are worried about his well-being, why are you not talking to him?
Because he dishonored my name, and
But he's still your son.
No, listen. I know he's my son. I'm not cutting him off for forever. I just haven't talked to him.
But this is the worst moment of his life. He needs you now more than ever.
No, listen. I talked to him after this happened, and he hid the fact that he did this. And he put my other kids at danger based off what the other people said, and I just can't talk to him right now. I just can't.
Like, what kind of situation?
Yeah, like you just don't do your son like that. Like, and I, if that's how you feel, I can't tell you how to feel. As a father, I'm not a father, but as a father, I have a father. And if I was a father, you know what I mean? As a father, I can't tell you how to feel, but I can say this publicly: you are supposed to be your team. You're supposed to be team son. You're supposed to hold him accountable in public, but you're supposed to have his back in public. I'm sorry, like you ain't gotta say this is Rampage's fault. I ain't saying you gotta go against the other guy, but you gotta have your son back in public. Cause when you shut him down in public and this is yourself in public, you open up the floodgates for the public to ridicule your son because they know you ain't got his back like that. You cannot do that in the public eye. You can feel how you want to feel in private. I can tell you how to feel in private, but in public, you need to have your son's back. I'm sorry. You need to be there. And at least make it publicly feel that way.
Situation are we talking about where somebody is sitting in waits for the police to come and literally put handcuffs on them? He's getting dragged on the internet on all sides. There's no side of the internet that was supporting him. He can't even turn to his father. That's just a bad situation because you would expect your father to at least speak to you. I'm not even saying that he has to praise the actions that you do, condone any of the actions that you do, but you can't even speak to your father. That I know.
Right, he's supposed when you're in a situation like this and the whole world against you, you gotta have somebody to have your back. And I know not to veer off, but I want y'all to listen to this because it's important. I love to talk about philosophy and the way people think and why certain things lead to other things. That's just who I am, and I love to do that. So I'm gonna add a little twist to this. But shit like this is why young black men turn to gangs. Because what happens is when they're put in a situation where the greater society turn their back on them, their family don't have their back, they feel like the only people that is there to support them, whether it's for good or bad intentions, is gang culture. They feel like they could turn to that because they feel like that's the only thing that's going to protect them, or they feel like that's the only thing that's going to hear them out, and they can relate to the other people that's in gang culture. So what happens is, to keep this from happening, keep people from I'm not saying they should turn to gang culture. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. But when you feel like the whole world is against you, you want to go somewhere where somebody can understand you, somebody can relate to you, somebody can hear you out. And when gang culture is the only culture that's there to listen to you, you can see why people turn to that. Not saying they should, not condoning it. I'm just helping you understand why things happen the way it do. So, and the way to combat that is to have other outlets they can go to outside of just the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? And no dig to nobody in gang culture. I'm just saying. But I just want that to be noticed. This is why because all it does is create a spiral of continuous bad behavior moving forward, because they're in their mind, well, if everybody against me, I'm going to go to whoever got my back. And if whoever got my back is the bad guys, that's just how it works. So
That kid was going through it before the police ultimately came and picked him up. Now, to give Raja and Rampage's relationship a little bit of bail, the person that did break him out of jail with paying his $50,000 bond was Rampage Jackson. And I mean, that's the least he could do for his son, who, which
that's what he should do. You know what I mean? Being his father, he should do that. But you should be in his corner, not like defending him, but holding him accountable for sure. But I mean, racist is going at y'all. Racist is going at him. Y'all. This is the time where y'all gotta thug this out. You is his father. You did raise that boy, so his actions It's part of the way you raised them. So
all intents
you
and
gotta
purposes,
take
it's
that.
probably like in a mental state that's just not healthy at all at this point.
I'll drive. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. You all right. He at home now. Okay, good. Hey, he fucked up. He fucked up though. He fucked up. He got to learn his lesson.
Now, I'm not a person who subscribes to the ideology that you are always a product of like your upbringing. Like, have you ever seen a situation where, I don't know, a grown adult does some bad action and then they question how this person was raised? I'm not a fan of that because it takes away from all the good things that have been done by parents, by other adults in people's lives that got them to the point that they are. Now that
I disagree to an extent. I do think the way you are raised plays a large factor in your behavior, but it's certain behavior to where it's common sense. It's common sense, good or bad, right? There's a level of common sense, good or bad in life. Punching somebody hardest for 20 times and you a pro fighter is common sense bad. There is no, I don't care how you was raised. Anybody with a brain that works know that's bad. But maybe being a little controlling, maybe being a little a high head, maybe turning to substances. I can understand that because it's what it is it's a repeated behavior that has been is a repeated behavior, but it's a repeated, way. You get what I'm trying to say. It's a repeated behavior that's been repeated since you were a kid. You just found different ways to choose that outlet. You know what I mean? It might not have been drugs when you were a kid. It might have been sugar. Then as you gotten older, it went from sugar to other substances, and then it just get worse and worse. So I do think the way you are brought up does play a factor into that. And if you don't have nobody in your corner, it's just gonna continue. You know what I mean? But I get what he's trying to say though.
got that little preface out, that is not applicable to this Raja and Rampage situation.
Facts.
It is super strange, and it's something that is kind of being swept under the rug, how in real time to massive amounts of audiences, Rampage Jackson is just saying super duper weird and probably disgusting things to his son, and nobody's really calling it out. Now, not saying that it excuses any of the behavior that Raja is doing. That's the last time I'm gonna say that. But listen to how Rampage Jackson is talking about cutting Raja Jackson off for weeks at a time. Like, this is right after the event.
I talked to him after the shit happened, and he hid the fact that he did this shit, and he put my other kids at danger.
He didn't.
Based off what the other people saying. I just can't talk to him right now. I just can't. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk to him again. I just can't talk to him right now. I need some time. I'm dealing with his attorneys and all this shit. I'm very disappointed in Roger. Like,
and this is the part where I say your behavior or how you grow up affects the way you do things. Because I almost guarantee Rampage, this is the way he deals with conflict. He don't know how to face conflict face head on because he probably never really had to especially to this degree, probably for sure. But he probably always his first instinct to conflict is probably to avoid it and just say and dismiss it and not deal with it. And now that he's facing conflict so heavy that like the public eye is not letting you run from it, he's still trying to run from it, even though the public eye is like, nah, bro, you can't run from this. And this is where how you brought up plays a factor. It might not be the behavior, something as bad as punch somebody in the face 20 times, but it's the little ways that you handle it, is the ways that's how you always done it, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm not a perfect parent, so I don't know what's the protocol to how much time you stop from talking to your son when he fucking goes out there and hurt somebody. He put a guy in a fucking hospital.
I'm going to give you a little bit of help here, Rampage. There is never a time when, especially your son going through an incident like this, should you ever abandon him. One of the gripes that he had in his monologue after leaving is that he feels as a lot of people aren't on his side. He feels as that he doesn't have people in his corner. He feels as that he...
Side note, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I know I've been doing this YouTube thing for a few months now, and I'm in production. I do music videos, I do production, I shoot podcasts, all that, right? So I love production. I ain't gonna lie, I think I'm gonna find these damn panels. These hoes hard. I ain't gonna lie. These mugs are hard. If I find that and put that in like back here somewhere, I don't know, make it look all professional, but have them foldable so when I'm done I can just fold them and put them in my room somewhere or something. That'd be gangster. I ain't gonna lie. I like making stuff look fancy. You know what I mean? So it's a side note. I'm sorry to get off topic. Them mugs are fire. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Ohmeezzy, because I might try to find them mugs. Hopefully not expensive. I'm a struggle YouTuber, so I probably can't afford it.
Is alone. Don't double down and prove this right now by abandoning him in his time of need and only communicating through the lawyers.
Tired of everybody playing with me and think I'm always playing and call me and
And that
bro,
there,
at the end of the day,
that there is also from his childhood. He probably always his father always probably looked down on him, probably say he wasn't good enough, that he was probably not as good as his other sons, and he probably held that in internally. Now, do that give an excuse for what he did? Absolutely not. Not even remotely close. But you can understand where it came from. Don't give him an excuse though. But you can understand where it comes from.
I'm gonna stand up for my self because I'm tired of everybody playing with me, bro.
It's clear as day that he cares about you, your opinions, and what you think. But you deciding to step away from the situation right now is not the best thing in the world. And I see by watching you, you are the reason for the whole family having accountability issues. You talk about how all these people have this blame, but one person.
Everybody was wrong. Roger was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this shit ever would have happened. This psycho Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the neck, asked him to sell it. If that never happened, none of this shit never happened. And the promoters was wrong for putting an outsider inside a motherfucking pro wrestling match. Everybody's wrong. The dumbest thing I ever seen.
And you're right. Everybody is wrong. I think that there was a little oversight from the wrestlers, the wrestling promotion that, had Stu and Raja in that situation. I definitely think Raja was wrong. I mean, he beat the man black and blue. But what about the responsibility that you hold? Now, Rampage Jackson is doing a good job of, flipping the script and on the back end cleaning it up, doing what a responsible dad does. He paid the $50,000 worth of bail. He's going on these interviews, kind of taking the conversation away from Raja. He's the one being front facing, and he's even volunteering to pay.
But granted, and not to take nothing away from Rampage, but granted, let's be real. When you got money like them, how much of the thinking of making good decisions moving forward for PR is really done by you and not done by your PR team? When you that rich, take accountability. You can pay somebody to take accountability for you. And by that, I'm saying you can ask your PR team, how do I need to move forward with this to get some of this heat off my name? What can I do to change the narrative? And your PR team will help you do that. You don't even have to do that yourself. I'm not saying he did not think of none of this himself. I'm not saying that. But when you got money like that, you can pay other people to take accountability for you or to teach you how to take accountability, and you not physically learn the skill yourself. You know what I mean? So, just a side note.
For all of the medical expenses from Stu that he suffered once Raja put him in the hospital.
Can I nominate an American to get his smile back? Yeah. His name is Psycho Stu. I pay for that in my pocket.
And that's real. That's salute. But did he think of that himself, or did the PR team tell him that? And to you like, what does it matter? It matters because that shows some people don't have that level of not intellect, but some people don't have that level of empathy or cause it just, I'm sure you feel bad for him, but what I'm trying to say is some people just don't think like that. Like, I'm a very self-reflect. I like to do self-reflection, right? So with me liking to do that, and I do that all the time, I typically try to look at what parts of this am I playing to cause these type of reactions in my life, right? Some people just don't look at life like that. And the reason why it matters is because He could have a PR team do this for him now, but what if something happened instantly right after that and he don't react with the same mindset that he's using to, give this donation to Psycho Stu? It just, when it's a part of you, it carries with you no matter where you go. When it's not a part of you, you need to have a reaction time and have the PR team help you with that so you can then clear your name up later. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. It's just crazy.
You the man. Yeah.
But salute to him, though. This is a good gesture. I'm not trying to take that away
Look,
from him.
I'm not trying to take away the fact that Raja did what he did. I mean, he sat there and let a chat full of internet kids rage bait him into jumping on stage and beating a man until, he passed out. But ultimately, what I am saying is that Rampage is not as scot-free as he's saying. We need to start investigating the source and what roles they play in these conversations, because as I look at some more footage of Rampage Jackson, it's clear as day to me that the way that he treats his son is playing a big role in his son's life.
My son's a vegan because he's a...
Why hasn't he fought in 2 years?
Because Roger's a vegan. And
what's your problem with the vegan stuff?
Because I don't think you should be a fighter and a vegan. I just don't believe a vegan that has to cut a lot of weight should be a fighter. I don't care if Roger ever fight again. As soon as I find he's vegan, I don't care if he ever fight again.
Ohmeezzy Jackson is going to be the son that I always wanted. He's going to be a meat eater and a lover. And he's going to fight. He's going to be the epitome of me. Something that you ain't.
Why you stepping on my...
And that shit matters, bro. I got a father, right? Obviously, right? But I ain't gonna say obviously because some black men don't. I got an active father, right? And though I would say in my younger years, him saying something like that would really, really screw me. Him saying that to me now obviously wouldn't. And he would never say nothing like that. But speaking hypothetically, if he were to say something like that, it wouldn't bother me now. But back then, yeah, buddy, that boy. So I don't understand why he would do that. But granted, like I say, this looks like a generation of bad parenting passed down. I wouldn't even be surprised if Rampage didn't even have an active father in his life to teach him how to do it, and Rampage is just trying to figure it out as he go. But that don't mean Rampage don't need to be held accountable. Cause my people might not like me saying this, but I'm gonna say it like it is. I don't care, and one of the phrases I hate the most is we did the best we could. I don't want to hear that. I only want to hear that is if you are still going to take accountability for what you did not do. That is not a scapegoat to get you out of what you was not able to do. I don't want to hear it. I'm not saying I don't appreciate you doing the best you can or the best you did. I can understand that, and I do appreciate that. But what I'm trying to say is that is not an excuse for what you was not able to do. Because that sounds like you're done trying. Like, I did the best I could. I'm done now. No. And I'm sure that's not what they're saying. But what I'm saying is, if you're saying that to excuse what you wasn't able to do and what you're not going to do moving forward, you can miss me with all that. Because that's not a good... We're not doing that. As a parent, you're still growing. As a child, I'm still learning. And as a parent, you're still learning too, right? We're going to rock this boat all the way till we both out this mug. You know what I mean? And Rampage doesn't want to continue growing as a parent. He think that now his son grown, he done. That ain't how that work. You are still growing. You are still learning. You did the best you could at that time, but you are still going to continue to learn till this day. And you still going to try to install whatever you can, even at your older years. I don't care if I'm grown. You're going to still try to install more. So, yeah, this look like a generation passed down of bad parenting. I ain't going to lie.
Look, I forgot to tie my shoe good. Can you help me out with that? Nigga like that dude from Fat Avenue, yuck mouth from Fat Avenue.
I don't know, maybe I'm too mature for some of these conversations, but we never talk about the impact that a lot of this negative focused content can have on the actual people that are suffering from these things. I'm talking about the people that get bullied. I'm talking about the people who are the butt of the joke. I'm talking about the people who get constantly, and I mean constantly, made fun of on the internet. You don't think that that's something that is going to harbor in their hearts? Like there's not going to be some anger, some hatred, some sort of animosity that builds up in their hearts?
That shit pissed me off, and I'm have to get him back. They said I can go in the ring and get his ass. I don't even know what I'm gonna do to him.
Bro, my dad can't do shit.
I'm gonna fake crash out. All right, bet. It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler for real. So I get it today. Am I really gonna fight him? Yeah, I'm gonna punch his ass for real. How many subs to knock him out? That's a good question. 50 subs to knock him out. If he hits me back for real, I don't give a fuck. I want him to. Y'all want me to teabag him? People think this shit's sweet. People think this shit's a fucking game. My dad can't never call me a bitch.
That father-son relationship is a very unique one. It's filled with a lot of pressure from the outside, from the inside, from the parents to the children. And then ultimately, if the children don't have that positive outlet, they lash out. There's only one man in your life that you want to impress, and that is your dad. So I could understand why Raja would be so up.
Especially when your dad is as successful and famous as his dad is. Of course, that's something that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to live up to that, especially when your whole life people probably compared you to him, say that you're going to be the next him, and you lived in the shadows your whole life. Of course, it's been beaten in your head, no pun intended, that you supposed to be the next Rampage. So, hey, but what I will say is, Ohmeezzy, you are not too mature for this, because I am definitely with you on that. You know what I mean? People don't understand the psychological effects of the way people talk. Every word you say to somebody matters. Every every demeanor that you carry with you matters. Every little thing matters. Like, everything plays into effect. I mean, of course, you can't correct everything. Like, you still gotta be yourself, but you just gotta. A lot of this can be fixed with empathy. A lot of this can be fixed with empathy. Think about others before when you do things. Think about, like, have an out of body experience and look at things from other people's perspectives. That alone can fix a lot of this. You know what I mean? But people don't do that, because people got this main character syndrome in their head, to where, like, the world revolves around them, so they don't really look at how other people see things, because they see themselves as a main character. And maybe because I grew up never looking at myself as a main character, because I probably had low self-esteem, it was easy for me to feel other people, because I was a person that was subject to bullying growing up. So it was easy for me to feel bad when I feel like other people getting bullied. So it was easy for me to have empathy for other people. So it was easy for me to have that out-of-body experience and not want to, whenever I feel like I'm going too hard, I had to sit back and think, oh, wait, if somebody was doing that shit to me, I know what that shit feel like. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. But Raja do need to suffer these consequences. He need a wake-up call, because that was dangerous. Bro, you being that strong, you need to, if that wasn't a moment for you to realize what you was doing, somebody need to teach you that, because obviously your dad didn't. You know what I mean? So, hey, it is what it is. But I'm going to end this video here. It gotten way too long. So with that being said, y'all go subscribe to Ohmeezzy. Intelligent brother, salute to Ohmeezzy for sure. Yeah, make some more non-streamer videos. You would definitely see me more. You know what I mean? And with that being said, y'all go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keep it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. And if anybody knows where to get these panels, please put the link in the comment section. I will definitely go check them out. And if it's in my YouTube streamer budget, not streamer, in my YouTube creator budget that I don't have, it's really my work budget, I will probably be buying them. I don't know. But with that being said, remember, there is nothing impossible to they who try. So next time I'm out, dose.